Great. Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. How are we all doing? So, yeah, I got my revat to level 80 last night. Took a lot longer than I thought it would, but we got there. Doing the frontline critical engagements and a few of my dailies. And I managed to get my full 530 Crypt Lurker gear and accessories and weapon and everything for my Reaper. So that is now good to go. I still find it funny that, you know, people do it for the raids, but they also do it so that they can prep for the next expansion. Like the grind and grind and grind for all those totems, cap them out every week, get the base 520 gear, and then they trade it up to the 530 gear. And again, it takes weeks and weeks and weeks, and then come expansion, you know, every expansion, it's always the same. The devs are just like, screw this old tombstone stuff. You can just go buy it with Poetics. So I didn't bother to offer grind this time. I got like I5 25. Oh yeah, I've sat and I was on for like an hour and a half last night. I couldn't decide what to glam me Reaper like. There we go. I finally landed on something. Got the highest rank Grand Company chest piece. the Crypt Lurker gloves, the Reaper level 80 pants, the Harvester pants, I think it was. And those boots I got off the market bought. It was the boots that was driving us up the wall. I couldn't get any boots that looked nice, and then I saw them and I thought, they look pretty good. And then that's the level 80 Crypt Lurker scythe, dyed red. I'm not normally a fan of red. I prefer blues. But for the Reaper, I thought, yeah, that looks alright. If I could dye the Grand Company chest piece blue, I would have made it all blue. But, like, just the seams, like the bits where it's red on the chest, if I could change that to, like, a darker blue, I would have went with that. But, unfortunately, you can't dye that chest piece, which is a shame. Because it's, like, the current highest Grand Company ranking piece of gear you can buy, which, again, it's just glam. Because, the devs seem to just don't care about the Grand Company rank and stuff these days. Hey, Abs. Hopefully, once this expansion is done, they'll finally be like, right, let's do something with the Grand Companies. And they'll actually add more ranks, because there's still like another 8 ranks that haven't been unlocked. They're just sat there, useless. But yeah, my Reaver is level 80. Glammed up and good to go. The audio sounds weird. Sick of this capture card. Does my head in. Bear with us, the music's gonna go very loud for a minute. There we go, right. Everything's going wrong. Alright. Quit Stream Deck. Reopen Stream Deck. There we go, right. Got it. Yeah, it's another reason why I mean, I'm kind of annoyed with what I did, because obviously I don't really stream as much these days. But at the start of the year, I bought this. This $2,000 laptop, and it just sits here collecting dust. It's got a 3080 in it. Ryzen 7 5000 series and 16 gig of RAM. Yeah, it just sits here collecting dust. Mainly because the hardware design on it's pretty stupid. Like, it's got a HDMI port on the back, and it's also got like a Thunderbolt C port on it as well. The Thunderbolt C port is connected to the CPU. So the Ryzen onboard graphics uses that port, and the 3080 uses the HDMI port. Which is fine for like normal PC gaming, but I can't do VR on this. I can if I get a USB link cable, but or do it wirelessly. But I can't use that Thunderbolt port on the back. It's pretty much useless. For some dumb reason, they thought, oh, we'll hardwire that to the onboard CPU graphics instead. And it's a faff, because every time I like boot up a game, it always prioritizes using the onboard graphics rather than the 3080. So I keep having to go into like Windows settings and Nvidia settings every time to be like, no, use the damn 3080. That, and obviously with it being a laptop, it's quite toasty, depending on the game. It's not as bad as the last laptop I bought. I bought a laptop a few years back to play Gears of War 4 with Koos, and literally booting that game up within seconds, it would overheat and shut itself off. The same with Witcher. So I sent that back to Scans, and Scans was like, "Oh, that's normal with laptops." I was like, I don't think it's normal for it to be like cooking itself and turning itself off within like 2 seconds of us putting on a game. I see. Ah, look, gotta love these servers. Ah, yes. I went to my brother's room earlier. He's like 6,670 in the queue for Phoenix, and I'm just like, ah. Gotta love Goblin. Ah, there we go. Look, in within seconds. Nice. Right. All you've got to do, where is it? There's a server status webpage that'll constantly refresh every minute, and it'll tell you the status of the server. It's just because if there's like people on the server, it'll not let you make a one, but it changes like every minute. You've just got to keep an eye on it, and the second you see that go green, make a character. That's what I did. It's not that it's going to be like that forever. Have I still got the bookmark? Final... I haven't got a bookmark. Where is it? Final... Fantasy server status. If I could type. Is it Lordstone World Status? Is this the one? There it is. Goblin's green! Goblin's green! Go green! Green! It's green right now, Abs! Go, go, go! But yeah, I've put the link there in Discord. But yeah, Goblin's green right now this second. It'll probably change any minute now, you just gotta be quick. This character was originally on Excalibur. This was my original Lalafell character from the original Final Fantasy 1.0. But then I moved it from Excalibur to here. Whereabouts are you, and I'll invite you. All right. Right, I don't think I need to do anything. I think I can just crack on with the story. Have you started any of the story, Abs, or you not gotten on yet? Because obviously you were having your CPU problems, weren't you? Yeah. I'll do my Reaper missions first before I get on with the main story. I love the new Ethernet thing. Just that simple change to it. They should just overhaul the entire teleport system to be like that. Just that map next to it helps so much. So, like, when you bring up this menu, it'd be nice if when you cycle through these, it would have the map next to this as well. Everybody under the sun running around with that Diablo scythe. I'll pass. If the boss is seeing your family, then your family. Let's put that bastard in the dirt, eh? For our Aegis. Thicker than blood. Drusilla seems relieved to see you walk through her door unscathed. Glad to see Orcus hasn't sunk his teeth into you yet, Jasix. Don't go thinking he's given up on trying, though. He's out there savouring you from a distance. Can't resist checking in on his prize, just as he can't resist seeking out morsels to tide him over till his feast. The reports we received of a man pale as death skulking about the sands is proof of that. And then there's the matter of this blunted dagger. We don't know who sent it, but we do know what it means. It's a warning, commonly used by the less savoury elements in Uldar. A warning that the next will be delivered sharp and straight to our bellies. More fool them. They've no notion of what we faced and lived, thinking we'd soil our small cloths over empty threats. Small clothes. Let's hope it's nothing more than that. Unless, alas, seeing as we need to follow up on those reports sooner than later. Anyone fancy a bit of fresh air? If we catch a whiff of Orcus' foul stench, all the better. Jasix, I want you to ask around near Blackbrush Station. I'll head to Stonethrow. When you're done, meet me there and we'll share what we've dug up. Not every member of the family has the means or the inclination to live in the jewel of the desert. Some settle for something with a little less luster. I noticed they've increased the teleport costs as well. It's a bit more expensive to teleport to places now. Doesn't mean by me though. I never really pay attention to it unless I'm flat skinned and I can't afford to teleport. That's the only time I'm like, oh. I recognize that self-assured stride. The mark of a man ready to take on the world, and then some. You must be the Eosian Reaper the boss sent word about. I'm almost disappointed to tell you nothing is amiss. The soldier in me would have loved to see a Reaper in action. I once fought in the Imperial Army. Well, you wouldn't think it to look at me now. I served proudly under Lord Valens in my youth, until the day he ordered us common folk to use as common folk in some pointless skirmish. I refused and was sentenced to death by my Kando. Needless to say, I didn't keep that appointment. Compared to that, evil, toothless threats and ghosts are no bother. But, unless jaded, are more excitable. One lass in particular has been jumping at shadows. She claims to have seen all manner of terrors, but I suspect she's been startled by her own reflection. Still, if you want to lend an ear to her delusions, you can find her in Lost Hope. Love that mount. Pretty rare mount. I was lucky to get it on my second rune. Ah, demon! Hello. Who are you? Oh, did Drusilla receive my missive? She sent someone to rid us of this terrible evil waiting in the wings? Truly, she cares for us as if we really were her flesh and blood, which is more than I can say about my own. Not once have I longed to return to the life of comfort I left behind in Garlemald, and I have Drusilla to thank for that. She isn't the reason I left home in the first place, of course. Had I not met my beloved, I would likely still be feasting on lemon cakes in ignorance. Lemon cakes? In ignorance of love, of freedom. I found the former in Garlemald and the latter in Eorzea. As our new life blossomed into something beautiful. Not every day has been easy. Not even most days, but Drusilla's watchful eye has kept us safe, and our freedom is worth any measure of hardship. Such terrible fears gripped my heart when my beloved told me of the pale man he spied on the sands. But now that the family's come to help, I can breathe a sigh of relief. I'm sure you wish to know precisely where to find that horrid creature, but I cannot help half so well as my beloved might. Seek him in the southeast and pray put an end to this nightmare. Bow, bow, bow. Dandy. Another guy in a hat. Through devilled mists, a hunter doth now tread, tracking the scent of quarry others dread. In darkest night, cry for a keeper. Low by your side, he walks the Reaper. Ooh, I like that. It's a pretty good one. Apologies for the effusive display, friend. I'm a poet, you see, and cannot resist putting into word the flood of emotions that accompany such a striking figure as yours. Le gasp! He's here. Oh, never mind, that's not him. Ack! A monster! Demon! Kill it! Gra. What the hell? Why don't they just put a sound effect in? The bloodlust emanating from the void scent is potent and powerful. Let's reap this creep! Love the Reba. Reba is awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. My savior, my godsend. Not that I could have aided you, but alas, a port's pain is of little use in battle. Unless, of course, that battle involves not swords and scythes, but words. A rap battle. Just ask the sire of my beloved, who is even now licking the wounds dealt by the invective verse I composed after he had the gall to forbid our union. Can you? I've got no issue with mine. What internet provider you're on? I've been on this server for a long time and I've never had lag or anything. Unless, of course, that battle involves not... Oh, yeah, I've already read that, you know. A masterwork of scathing metaphor and subtle remonstration. Alas, for all their pretensions, nobles are anything but subtle in their rage. We were forced to flee, to abandon our homes with only our love for sustenance. Nevertheless, I regretted not a single moment of our life in exile. In all Eorzea, we found an unexpected treasure. Freedom. Freedom of mind and freedom of heart. But I digress. Surely you did not seek me out simply to save my life and leave with a nod and a smile. You wish to commission a poem? A pale man. I encountered him whilst wandering these arid wastes in search of inspiration. I felt the gears of some terrible presence upon my back. When I turned to meet it, he was standing there grinning like a butcher in a bullpen. He wore robes much too thick for these scorched sands, and his skin looked as if it had never been kissed by the blazing sun. Worst of all, his eyes were as two bottomless pools of blood. I feared my end had come, but then he vanished as quick as he had appeared. Perhaps I've been reckless. Recent incidents make it clear that the cost of inspiration is higher than I'm willing to pay. I shall return to my beloved for both my safety and hers. Thank you again, my saviour. Yeah, I've never noticed anything myself. Like I said, I've been on this server for a good couple of months now, and I've managed to play through the entire campaign a third time and do all my raids and everything without any issues. I've never once had a disconnect or anything. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. There you are. And? Another one of his accursed minions. Well, I suppose we can take comfort in the fact that none of the family came to harm, yourself included. Well done. Speaking of which, what do you think of this family you've been thrust into? Speak freely. I haven't lived this long by taking offence at opinions I don't want to hear. I'm surprised you've all survived this long. Takes more than brute strength for folk to survive. None of them were fit for life under the Empire's boot, and that's good enough for me. Much as some enlightened types might tell you otherwise, people like to have a say in the life they lead. That's what separates us from those bugs over there. The beast is like, you what? Fucking have you? Comes out and stings her in the face. Ah! Born queens, workers, drones, bred into roles, ingrained so deeply they wouldn't know how to live otherwise. For the glory and prosperity of the hive. But we've got it in us to be different. Maybe born into farming, soldiering, or politicking, but we can choose to walk a different path whenever the fancy should strike. It ain't in our nature to accept our lot without question. No, we have to believe in something, put our faith in it. Only then will we deign to march in step. And indeed, faith of a savage stripe is one way to get us dancing to the same tune. Others might be compelled through faith in logic or law, intangible, invisible, yet cause enough for killing and conquering, if it suits the Queen. Oh. Mr. Emmett boy? Invaders. The invaders have sullied our birthright for 8 centuries. No longer. We march for Lucas Amunus. With few righteous words, his radiant solace Zos Galvus whipped the hive into a frenzy. Once that fire is burning, the passion of the masses can't soon be quelled. What was once a wish for home became a holy mission to spread enlightenment. Enlightenment which would not offer such beliefs as the beastmen held. Suffer, sorry. Countless scores rendered up their lives on the altar of empire, until an entire continent was united under a single Magitech fist. For those who still dreamed the dream of unity, a deed worthy of song, yet some awoke to see it for the tyranny it was, my grandfather Aurelius included. The tales of the Reapers are passed down through bloodlines. Aurelius was the best of us, the most accomplished and feared in the Order's long history. The duty of the Reapers, our role in the Hive, if you will, was to deliver our countrymen from corrupt and power-hungry tyrants. Garlemald found religion in conquest. Its appetite grew to be insatiable. My grandfather pondered this conundrum for many sleepless nights and came to a decision. He would relieve Solus Zos Galvus of his life. You kind of failed there then. "20 years ago, he slipped into the deepest chambers of the Imperial Palace, silent as a shadow, until he could hear the Emperor's beating heart. Yet, when Rillus returned to me, Solus was alive and well. My grandfather, on the other hand, had a skittishness to his step, and his black hair turned a pale white, because he found out he was an Asian. Or he'd already been given to a void scent. I don't know if Asians mess with that sort of stuff. He said naught of his encounter with the Emperor, save that the most powerful man in Garlemald was no man at all. Yeah, he found out he was an Asian. Shamed in his defeat, my grandfather sought greater power. Bit by bit, he gave more of himself over to the void scent behind his avatar. Orcus struck when Rillus was weakest, taking his flesh and soul in one fell swoop. When he was finished, not a mortar of my grandfather remained in that body. There was only Orcus. The fiend flew into a rapturous frenzy, and my family were his first victims. I remember the chill of his teeth sinking into my flesh, gnawing until they reached my very essence. You chomped on her? How am I standing here before you then? Orcus gorged on a soul that night, but it wasn't mine, not exactly. It was my avatar that filled his belly. Seemed that was all he could stomach. Some might consider that a lucky twist of fate, but I had a little time to ponder my fortune. Fled soon as I was able. His radiance never looked kindly on those trying to end his life or their families. I wandered about for years until I settled here and started seeking out others like me. Others who had awoken from the Empire's dream. Lemurs is what we called the spirits of the dead in the Garlean tongue. A fitting moniker, if there ever was one. Waking up from a long sleep ain't unlike climbing out of the grave. I can attest to that. Son of a bleeding. Remind me not to give such long-winded speeches when the sand is blowing in my face. I'm heading back for some ale. See you at the headquarters. Nah, I've not done Sage yet. I literally logged on day 1 yesterday, got Reaper, and I spent all day yesterday grinding this from 70 to 80. So then I can go through the main story with this job. That's not what I want. Yeah, if you want to do one of the new jobs, crap. I had that yesterday, once. Okay. No, never mind. I can't get into Uldar. I've never had this problem before. Out here. Yeah, basically, the best way to do it is unlock Sage or Reaper, do the Pixie Beast Tribe quests, yeah, roulettes. That'll get you to 71, and then from 71 to 80, Zadno, the critical engagements there, and a couple of dailies if you time it right. You can get from 70, 80 in a single day. There we go. I just physically walked in and got in. Yeah, normal engagements at Zadnor get you 250,000. Critical engagements get you 500,000. But nobody does the Dalra, like, large-scale engagement. No one does that. Just the normal on-field engagements and the critical ones. Welcome back, boss. How's the family? How do you change the text speed? I'm not sure how to change it with a controller, but there's some scenes in this have auto text, like it's forced auto text. You can't do nothing about it, and yeah, it drives me up the wall. So I don't know if there's an option to, like, if you slow it down, if it'll affect the auto text on those sort of things, or if it's just when you yourself turn on auto text so that it'll, like, skip this dialogue. Right, welcome back, boss. How's the family? Shaken but unharmed aside from some tousled hair and mangled verse. Orcus left one of his minions behind as a gift, but Jasix made quick work of it. I always said he was a keeper. I didn't. You full of shit. You questioned why I was here, day one. You have an eye for the fierce of heart. I wager he could slay Orcus all on his own. Not that we let him take all the glory. I'm actually pleased with me, Glam. Not normally a fan of Raid, but it goes well with that blade. I've seen a bunch of people running around like glammed like Ruby Rose from RWBY. I've noticed they've also removed the gender lock from clothing now, so you can just put anything you want on. There was some guy dancing in a maid outfit yesterday in the middle of Limsa. Of course we wouldn't. We'll all be there when Orcus tries to take his prize. I don't think we'll be waiting long either. Yeah, I was saying I'm not normally a fan of Red, but I do like that chest piece with this setup that I've gone for. If I could dye the seams a bit like a darker blue, I would have went with that, but I quite like the raid. It's alright. It's not bad. Yeah, it's the Storm Lieutenant chest piece, Crypt Lurker gloves, the Harvester level 80 Reaper pants, and some level 80 boots that I got off the market board. I can't remember the name of them. And the Crypt Lurker scythe. Orcus said he'd strike when Jasix was ripe, with fear and hatred and despair. Well, that's never gonna happen. I'm the warrior of light. The world would have to be ending. Oh, wait. Give it a day or two. I'm sure we'll get there. Seasonings. He's loath to forego. I have an inkling how he might try to draw out those emotions. Finish off a high. Damn auto text! Right you are, Drusilla. See, literally one sentence that was auto text, and then it's back to not being auto text. Don't like it. Don't like the auto text. I hate that in any game. It's never felt as bad though in the previous expansions, but so far we're just the Reaper. I hope the main story quest isn't as bad as this. Oh shit! Is he just gonna let it? How many nights did you mourn your lost avatar? Your wellspring of your power. I must say, it was quite the dish. Oh. Ah, I think not. Move so much as a finger and her head will hit the floor. Oh, that's it, Jasix. That fire. I want to see it burn. I want to see it rage. I want to see the hatred seep into the depths of your soul. Shall I make this Drusilla's final breath? Or this one? It is so very hard to choose. I was right not to give in to my baser instincts, to allow the thought of your taste to simmer in my mind as you and Drusilla formed a bond, a kinship even. Born from an understanding of her inconsequential ideals, that you may better appreciate the bitter loss. But perhaps I should wait a while longer, to let the flavour of your hatred mature and the tang of your malice ripen. I can make use of Drusilla yet, revel in her screams, exult in her misery. Ah, how splendid it will be. All the while my prize piglet growing fat with loathing and succulent with terror. Patience rewards the dutiful gourmand. Gourmand? After all, when your tantalizing flavour has fully matured, I shall return, and I shall reap my harvest. Bye, Drusilla. Kind of like this storyline. Especially the headquarters music. Goddamn void sent bastard, soulless piece of shit. Or shite. Swipe that sodden demon spawn. Aye, that's the spirit. Right, we need a plan. First things first, find out where Orcus is hiding. The rest of the family should be able to help with that. In the meantime, you need to prepare. I know you're good, Jasix, but we can't leave the boss's life to chance. Sparing your skills and your scythe. Sharpen your skills and your scythe, then sharpen them once more. The boss could do naught against Orcus without her avatar. That means you'll have to do the heavy lifting. Of course, I'll do what I can to afford you any advantage. You can count on that. For Drusilla. For Drusilla! Ba-do-ba-do-boo. The Killing Art. Enshroud offers your flesh as vessel to your avatar, gaining maximum stacks of Lemur Shroud. Ooh. Yeah, temporarily turn into my avatar, don't I? Nice. Shroud gauge. Right, there's the extra gauge. Allows for shroud gauge accumulation upon the landing of gibbet, gallows, or guillotine. Herman seems to be in a fit of my eyes are going. I'm sick. My eyes are going batty again. Back in a minute. Been trying for weeks and weeks and weeks to get into the doctors. Even I went for my eyes checked at the opticians to get some new glasses not long ago, and even they said my eyes need looked at. Let's see. Right. The killing art. Herman seems to be in a fit of pique. Her anger directed at something you cannot see. Swatting flies. When I get my hands on him... Oh, Jasix, listen. We found out where the boss is being held, but I'm warning you. The how of it isn't pretty. An envelope arrived at headquarters this morning. I opened it, and inside was a finger. Shite. Inside was a letter written in blood. There's no doubting whose it was. Orcus is reveling in his own cruelty. The letter said he was waiting for us at dusk vigil. God knows what he's doing to her now. I've called on every able-bodied member of the family for this one. We're heading out as soon as everyone's assembled. But the port said he's useless. We're here, Herman. And more waiting outside. We're ready to repay the debt we owe Drusilla, with our lives if we must. With souls courageous, hearts of hardened steel, for leaders' sake, for family's ideal. Into the demon's lair they soon shall tread, to end his terror foul, his reign of dread. The boss would beam with pride to see this group of cold-blooded killers. But the port said he's useless. Alright, Jasix, we're ready when you say the word. This is a job for a Reaper and a Reaper alone. What? Now, we might not hold a candle to the likes of you, but we've got skills. You'll need someone to distract Orcus, right? Then you can move in for the kill while his back is turned. Don't tell us to stay here with our thumbs up our asses while the boss is suffering. Drusilla wouldn't want you throwing your lives away. What do you know about what she wants? Herman, listen, maybe he's right. I know he's right, God damn it. I mean, it doesn't chafe. The boss wouldn't trust just any man with the Reaper's arts, and Jasix has proven himself worthy time and again. If you're going alone, take that with you. For the boss, no self-respecting Reaper can reap without their scythe. Man, she hasn't got an avatar anymore. It got 8. There's not really been a Reaper in a while. Now go and make Orcus rue the day he crossed into this world. Yes, ma'am. All right. Oh, damn, we're going all the way to Falcon's Nest. Ooh. We're going there. That frozen lake area. Interessante. Ba-ba-da-boop. Do, 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 do. Yeah, this place never really... Actually, it was a dungeon though, wasn't it? Yeah. This is where you fought, you fought Shiva. Dusk Vigil. The vault was in Ishgard, the church. Right. Hopefully that'll be the last interruption. There you are, Jasix. My prize repast. Repast? Come forward. How's he ringing us on my link pill? This is where you fought Fenrir, I think. No, but stay a bit out. I could smell it. Your fear. Your hatred. Your tender marbled soul. My masterpiece ripe for the slaughter. I'll savor every bite. Strip the flesh from your bones. Crack them and then auto-text and ruin it! How I hungered. How I thirsted. Enraptured by the thought of your sweet essence trickling down my throat. Oh, listen to this. Never have I suffered so in waiting, but in beholding your magnificence, I see it was worth every agonizing pang. I do not expect you to leap into mine more willingly, nor do I desire it. I want you to writhe and struggle unto your dying breath. Is this the new boss battle music, or is this just his music? I have awaited this feast for far too long. I shall strip straight to the main course. Skip. Pig squirms and writhes. Stay still and let the chef's blade finish the job. Oh, he's leaving shit on the floor. Oh shit. Very good. Defiance becomes you. Though it begins to bore me. A noise, rather. 'Tis past time you bared your belly for my blade. Prey's sole purpose is to satisfy. Oh, she's gonna die. Oh, I took her eye. My word, your aim was off. Something like that. Ugh. Does he have a deep shadow blade? Ow! There should be nothing left of you. Should have learned to chew your food more thoroughly. Fools, the both of you. I won't die so easily. Now our feast begins. Very well. Meat is all the more delicious when it is tenderized. Your soul is right, Jasix. I shall pluck it from your body before it rots. Relinquish your soul and I promise your death will be swift. She is not moving from any UEs. Look at her, she's just like... Bah! Oh shit. No! It was a good fight, that. Music was awesome. Please don't be out of text. No. Oh, this might be a mistake, but the honor is yours, Drusilla. Thank you, Jasix. Dripping with pure boiling hatred, I can still smell its exquisite aroma. Why was that text slow? Why can't they all be that slow? Oh! Just a taste. It's done. Let's get back to headquarters, Jasix. I'm curious how she was able to reap though if she hasn't got an avatar anymore. I thought only those who got packed with other void scent could reap the reapity reap. Hers was ate by him a long time ago. Play the happy music. Ba, 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 ba. Or maybe not. Boss, Jasix. Na 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 na. The happy sad music. Sorry for causing you all no end of worry. In tracking me down, you risked life and limb. For that, I thank you. All of you. We didn't risk anything. We just sat here praying until you and Jasix walked through the door. Don't be so hard on yourself, lass. I know each and every one of you would have joined him if he hadn't talked some sense into you. We owe you our lives, boss. We order to you to return the favor. You're more than I deserve. Who forces them they hold dear into a personal vendetta? Who leads family to their death? I don't think it's over yet. I think he's going to jump into Arnegus, because again, how can she reap? I'm sure she said at the start when we first met that only those who have formed a pact with a void scent avatar can reap another void scent. But I mean, that makes no sense at the end of the day, because obviously we've gone into World of Darkness and everything and kicked the crap out of void scent and that. Arnegus was no fool. He knew and accepted the risks. He placed his faith in you because he believed Orcus had to be stopped, and he was right. There'll be no more victims to mourn. He helped you to achieve that victory. It'd be enough for him. And it'd be enough for me. I still think I think he's gonna possess. And I don't think he's actually been reaped properly. Could be wrong, but we'll see. Because we've still got another 10 levels of job stuff, unless it's going to pull a Shadowbringers and then just have one at 90 from this point. You're right. This ain't the time for skulking. And he just would be the first to tell me that. Now's the time to honor his sacrifice. Right. Now's the time to honor his sacrifice. To toast those we have lost and those still by our sides. And to thank the brave souls that led us here. That means you, Jasix, much as I'd like to take credit for Orc's demise. It was a long, bloody road, but this marks the end of your first assignment as a Reaper. And what an assignment it was, eh? You may not be Garlean, but you tackled your task with a singular resolve that had impressed the most hardened soldier. I'm proud to call you family. We may have founded the Lemurs to provide a home for wayward Garleans, but we're not so different to Garleans and Eorzeans. No great revelation, that. But moments like these help to put it all in perspective. This family was a dream that gave us the strength to survive in a strange land. But the beautiful thing about dreams, if you ask me, is that they can change. They can get better. So I say that, from this day forward, the Lemurs will be united not only by origin, but by purpose. Brothers and sisters bound by shared convictions. Woohoo! I don't think anyone will object to that, boss. The Lemurs are ready and to welcome people of all stripes. Starting with you, Jasix. Oh, it was all but official already, eh? Aye. Here's to the birth of a new family brother. Yay! Woohoo! Come on, I'm waiting for the next bad news. Gotta be something. This is Final 14 we're talking about. What a day it's been, eh? Hope it'll be a while yet before I have occasion to yammer on that much again. Too much talking's liable to put me in a sentimental mood. Or worse, make me dewy-eyed. So let's leave it at that, eh? You ever get weary from the weight of the world on your shoulders? Know that our doors will always be open. And if you need an ear to bend, a shoulder to weep on, or a stiff bottle to jump inside, I'll be right here, brother. Meanwhile... Ah. Morphin time! Wait, is that the end of Reba? Is that it? Wait, so, tell me there's nothing from here to 90. Nanny? The Shroud Gauge signifies the strength of your bond with your avatar. When the gauge is sufficiently filled, you can execute Enshroud to temporarily serve as host to your avatar. Once enshrouded, the Death Gauge will display the time remaining to play a host to your avatar, as well as your stacks of Lemur's Shroud, which are consumed to use powerful attacks such as Void Reaping and Communio, acquired at level 90. The Soul Gauge can be filled via the execution of certain weapon skills or by defeating enemies afflicted with Death's Design. With sufficient souls stored in the gauge, you can execute actions such as Bloodstalk, Grimswath, acquired at 55, or Gluttony, acquired at 76. Hello. It's always a pleasure to see you walk through these doors, Jasix. I know it's not very homely in here, but feel free to kick your feet up wheresoever you can. How fare the Lemurs? We're doing as well as can be expected, all things considering. Arnie just left some shoes that are proven hard to fill, and we found ourselves with less gil at hand than we're accustomed to. Herman is doing all she can, bless her heart. As much as she claims to hate using her head, he's shown a sharp mind for trade, and thanks to her, our cerulean business is getting back on track. Arnie's wife is making do, you'll be glad to hear. She's running her own stall and doing a fine job at it by all counts. I just hope that if anyone in the family needs my help, I'll be around to give them what they need. Tell me more about the Reapers. A lot to take in, ain't it? As we've discussed, Reapers were passed down from my Garlean forebears in Locus Amonis. A humble people who spent their days farming. They were driven by invaders to an inhospitable waste, where they turned their tools to weapons. But it ain't our scythe that people speak of in hushed whispers, it's our avatars. Through them do we receive a small measure of void-sent fathomless power, giving us abilities that'd make even the most learned mages green with envy. Of course, not everyone is able to bind themselves to the void. Even if they're willing, it takes a certain kind of person, a certain kind of soul, to resonate so deeply with a void scent. One that thrives in the darkness as well as flourishes in the light. That's what I was referring to when I said you had the killer instinct. It's a rare sort of connection to the 13th. The 13th? Much to Hermes' displeasure, for days she sat in front of those crystals, but heard not so much as a murmur from the other side. Ah. She was crestfallen, as you can imagine. Those Garleans who are fortunate, although some might argue on that point. Enough to be courted by the void are given gifts. What? Enough to be courted by the void are given gifts that nature has denied them. They're able to drink their fill of the world's ether and much more besides. For centuries, my forebears were tied to the void, and we used the strength it gave us to defend hearth and home. When invaders would threaten our borders, we'd be the ones to cut down their leaders. Under the cover of night, we would strike, just another shadow cast by the embers of dying campfires. When the sun rose, only the dead would serve as trace of our presence. Our enemies feared us, though they knew not what we were until the reign of Emperor Solus, that is. Now, when people think of the Empire, they think of Magitech, that inexorable wave of hulking metal which few can withstand. So that's it. There's nothing now between here and 90. Story-wise. I'm just gonna get a couple of skills. Huh. Oh. I was expecting the story to continue. I hope more does get added later, because again, I could totally see... Again, she has no avatar. So, as far as I could be wrong, I might have misread it, but I'm sure when we first joined the Reaper, she said only those who formed the pack are privy to the hunt, capable of taking down certain void scent. But again, like I said, we've also been to the world of darkness and killed lords there, so... So that's the Reaper's doing. I'm now good to crack on with the main story. Yeah, boy. Right. My friends, I have returned. I am Reaper. I come for your souls. But I'm going to take a break for a minute and get some food. Now that I've finished the Reaper. So I'm going to grab something to eat quickly. That'll be about an hour, half an hour. And then we'll finally start the main story. So, hope you've enjoyed the Reaper story. I shall be back in about half an hour, and we'll get on with the main story. See you in a bit. You've gone from 8K to 5.2. Yeah, my brother, he's still like 3.5 or something like that. He was on 5.7 or something when I went into his room earlier. Yeah. Gotta love that Phoenix. Yeah, I'll go get food, I'll come back, and then I'll be in within like 2 seconds. And Abs will still be in still in the queue. I feel for you. Right, I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm gonna get some food, and then we'll get on with the main story finally. If you've missed the Reaper story, the first 2 parts are on my YouTube along with the grind. This will be up in an hour or 2. See you in a bit. Peace.